Okay, well, here we are again. Happy Easter Sunday. Don't mind the fantastic outfit, but this is what I've been looking like for the last couple of weeks every day. So I figured I wouldn't change. But what I'm going to change is the way I videotaped my little home recipe for today. Thanks to some positive feedback from some of my friends at home, I'm going to try different angles and different shots, and I hope it comes out okay. Let's see if it works. So these are the ingredients that you're going to need. You need some fresh chopped up onions. I like them in small pieces. Some fresh chopped up cilantro and jalapenos, serranos, either one or a combination of both. We're gonna need some bacon. I used 2 strips or 3 this time. Did I do the tomatoes already? And some fresh tomatoes. We're gonna do some cooked chorizo, which will start over on the stove in a few minutes. And some cooked beans. If you have beans that you've made at home, use those. Obviously, homemade things are always better, but right now we can use things that we have in our pantry that are already canned. Mexican brand of beans are a little bit better because they don't put sugar in the beans. So I hope that you like this recipe, and I'll get us started. Okay, so you could see how the chorizo is getting nice and crispy. I used Arizona local pork chorizo. That's what I had at the house, so that's what we're gonna use today. You can always make your own. So if you want a recipe for some homemade chorizo, ask me and I will share the recipe with you as well. So like I said, I'm going to start with the crunchier and harder to cook vegetables. In this case, the onions, because they take a little bit longer. You can leave it there. We're going to cook the chorizo and the onions until the onions are nice and cooked and not super raw and super crunchy. See how the onions are getting nice and cooked? They're absorbing all the oils and all the flavors from the chorizo. And at this point, it's when you're going to start adding the other crunchy vegetables. And you're going to add some of that bacon, which I had already pre-cooked. And just stir it for a little bit. I like the jalapenos and the serranos to stay a little crunchy. I don't like them to get too soggy, so I'm gonna leave those like that. I'm going to add some cilantro, and I'm going to add the tomatoes. And I'm going to continue cooking that for a little bit longer, just so that they reduce in size and all the flavors get blended together. You don't need to add a lot of salt to this because the chorizo is very well seasoned and the bacon is a little bit salty. You can taste to see if you need to add more salt later on towards the end. Once you have this all done, as you can see, the beans have been heating up. So now we're going to add our mixture of the bacon, the tomatoes, and the jalapenos back into that pot. We're gonna stir it up a little bit. This is when you might wanna taste it for flavor, see if it needs a little more salt. I think it tastes pretty good. And now we're gonna add the start of the show, which is the beer. Zoom it in. So this has been cooking for a little bit, and now it's not so hot, so I can pour some of it on a bowl and taste it with you guys. I poured some of it on a little bowl, and then I added a combination of panela cheese, cotija cheese, and Parmesan cheese. Actually, no, it wasn't cotija cheese. I used leftover feta cheese because that's what we have in the fridge. So as long as they're a little salty, a little bit of a stronger type of a cheese, that'll make it all better. But let's go ahead and try it. Came out really good. I hope the kids like it. Thank you, Nicole, for helping me videotape this.